All right, we'll try this. Actually, might be able to get away with the window frame. Let's lower these a bit more. Yeah, of course. Of course. So, I don't know what day it is. Day 77, maybe. It is push day, and it is time for another push-up progression. I'm going to do ring push-ups. Um, it's really recommended, I would say, to do ring push-ups in a elevated position, so something like this for beginners. However, it's quite bad depending on where your ring attachment is, because your elevation will change so much from your lower and higher positions. So it will be super easy and will be a lot harder. So I prefer to go horizontal or nearly horizontal. Um, and yeah, what I really want to get at is something that I've been thinking a lot about in this progression phase, which is exposing weaknesses. So I prefer to do harder versions of exercises. I mean, obviously, we think of more weight as harder, but more complex versions of exercises. Huh. I had this weird sensation in my lower abdominals for the past day or so. It just flared up. But yeah, rings. These are quite short straps. The longer the straps, the more unstable they will be. But we still have the instability of the rings. And the range, we don't have a natural stop. So I can't bounce my chest on the floor. And I quite like that. We remove some of the natural crutches of a floor push-up. And, you know, maybe they're not crutches. Depends on your perspective. Um, but when I look to my body and my experience, the less crutches I've used, the more challenge I've given my body and allowed it to adapt to, um, the stronger and healthier it has become. Makes kind of sense, right? Shoulder is the most unstable joint in the body. I give it instability to manage. It becomes more stable, and I eliminate that weakness, or, well, I reduce that weakness. And I find that especially rings, anything unstable, super shaky, hard, kettlebells overhead, open kinetic chain exercises. Work really, really well for this. And when you use those kinds of exercises, you don't need as many, and the results are better than when you do push-ups plus a bunch of external rotation and I don't know, kung fu. That was not a jab at kung fu, by the way. I was just having fun. We have bird problems. I'm just checking in on the birds outside. Yeah, like I've had all these sort of theories about the most utopian, ultimate minimalist training stack, where it's basically just 360 pulls on the rings. So full front lever pull, back lever pull, German hang, dislocate, inlocate, and we got the entire shoulders settled in one movement. And a press to handstand into a Mexican, so a back bending handstand, pulling back, feet through the legs into a L-sit, V-sit, Mama as an opposite, and those two would just be elite tier shoulders all in one movement or in two movements. But the thing is, like, building to those two movements are like a 10-year journey. Very condensation of so much knowledge, so much specific drills and programming and lifestyle management. Just being able to stay consistent for all that time. But yeah, I think that's a good example. It doesn't mean we can't do it in a smaller sense. Still think skin the cats are top 5 movement in all categories. I'll get to those in a second if you haven't seen them before. don't know if the video allows, so I'll finish out these ring push-ups. Basically, what you want to think of with the ring push-ups is elbows tight. Now, you're probably going to want to internally rotate. It's going to feel stronger for most people. You can fight for a little external rotation. It's going to be even better. So generally we want to just see ring turned out in the end of the movement. But we can also do ring turned out push-ups, which are extremely hard. For several reasons. But generally, when we push, we sort of, it's kind of hard to show and go on the floor. We sort of lean and traverse our way around the elbow. When to find the sort of easiest path for the shoulder down towards the hand, and usually it's somewhere in between the shoulder only moving forward and only the elbow coming backwards. When you do rings turned out push-ups, the rings block you, so you have to do essentially pseudo planche push-ups on the rings. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but if you're on the adult path of pushing strength, you will get in contact with this phenomenon sooner or later. So let's see. Just skin the cat for the gram. All right. I have a big day today. I've already been out running. Cold dip. Well, it was a fresh dip. Ring push-ups, very hard, very good. I would suggest if you're progressing from the floor, you go to elevated push-ups simply to adapt your tissues to the full range of motion available in your push-up position before you add instability to that as well. But for me, I'm seriously considering going with the rings. We'll see. Felt pretty good today. All right. Take care. Peace.